So this is the 4-year retrospect on starting my bloofs. I can't believe it's already been 4 years since I've been drawing these stupid shitpost rabbits. But a lot has changed within those 4 years. And my view of the hypnosis community has changed a lot. I have been part of the hypnosis community for far longer than just 4 years, but I went cold turkey for a while. Probably talked about this in the past, like, oh, shit happened to me, and then I returned. And after sorting things out, I have a pretty healthy relationship with the hypnosis community now, but getting back to the point, so I wanted to talk about, like, my experience now 4 years going in. And still, I do find it funny that even after 4 years, people still assume I'm like this conservative Puritan who is disgusted by the idea of sex and anyone talking about sex. And the only people who are like sharing this view are the actual people who engage in NSFW hypnosis publicly. Like, I don't get the same shit from other people who don't do that, who actually like keep it in private. So I'm just gonna say to you, to understand my point of view, because I'm not you and you're not me, let's say that I opened up a shoe store. This is just like a hypothetical scenario that's similar to this. Let's say I open up a shoe store and I'm here trying to sell some fucking shoes, and someone comes into the store with a shoe fetish and specifically asks me about fetish shit involving shoes. What do you think my reaction is going to be? You think I'm just going to stand there and be like, why, yes, I do want to talk about your interest in fucking shoes. Come in. No, I'm going to kick you out of the store and call the police on you, like anyone should. I'm all in my right to. So that's basically my experience within the hypnosis community. Even though it's online, it is the same experience. I am in a public space. You actively want to engage with me with something sexual. In any other situation, if this was public, you would be arrested. I'm sorry, this is straight up exhibitionism. And I have no idea why people are so confused by me being disgusted by it. I don't care what you do in your bedroom with your lover. I do not give a shit what you do alone in your alone time. But when you make it public, you make it everyone's problem. And that's why I am like this. I am not here to baby you. I am not here to coddle you with your weird fetishes. I want to post my art and post my content, and I'm not here to give in to your weird exhibitionist fetish. You should know boundaries by now. You should have a private account for your weird degeneracy. You shouldn't be trying to push it onto people who are not interested in it. So, I have all the right to be grossed out by you because you don't understand boundaries. And I think being on the internet completely blurs those limits because there's really no laws on the internet for that. Because the internet isn't a public place like real life, but in the same way it is. Like, no one wants to see your shit out in the public. It's the equivalent of, like, coming into someone's house, taking your shit on their carpet, and then getting angry with you that they shat all over your carpet. I don't know. There's no point in, like, trying to change these people's minds. I mean, it's clear that they don't seem to understand that exhibitionism is not cute, it's not tolerable, and it's not something people should put up with in the guise of being sex positive. That's not being sex positive, that's enabling people to push your boundaries to the point that it's not consent. I think that's the thing that I have not seen changed in the whole 4 years, is people still view me as this raging conservative who I don't even know what they think. They probably think I'm like pro-life, that I'm a fundy Jesus freak, which is crazy to me. I'm like the complete opposite of that, but whatever. They can believe whatever they want to believe. But besides that, I've noticed in the years the fact that I've been more and more vocal about stuff like this, the less and less I'm starting to see interactions with the more horny side of the community, if that's the most nicest way to put it. I'm starting to see more and more people who genuinely enjoy my work, not from like a sexual point of view, but generally just want to take people who generally are interested in the art I produce, which is something I'm pretty happy about, because it's honestly very disappointing that you put out all this work and the only people who enjoy it purely see it as a sexual thing. And it's not. And even though you want to normalize it as something like that, the rest of the world does not see hypnosis like that. It just seems to be something that's localized in America. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the burgers here, maybe it's the lack of health care, maybe it's the water, but it's driving Americans insane. And it's probably the femboy psyop that's doing it. My conspiracy. Gay frogs. And anyway, I'm pretty happy with how far I've gotten. Despite all the shit that happens in this community, I'm happy to be able to finally produce my work the way I want to, and not have to constantly wonder if I have to peddle or pander to people like that. I'm finally starting to see people who aren't particularly interested in hypnosis like other people are, and that there's people who never did hypnosis before who are also interested in my work, which is something I've always wanted to see, which really makes me happy. I'm also happy to see people who are in the same situation as me, who've been scared away from this community due to people not understanding consent, and finding my work as an outlet for that. It is really discouraging, even for me. There's only so much tolerance I could have for people who constantly commenting horny shit on my posts. It makes me want to quit so many times. But knowing that there's other people out there that feel supportive by seeing my work just makes me happy. I'm hoping with the video games I produce, the visual novels, I'll have a new audience of people to look at my work, which really makes me happy. Another funny thing is that I think I have a fan base on 4chan. I don't know. People have been saying they see my work on there, or users who use the site see my work on there. So that's weird. I've never used it before, so I'm wondering, like, is my Twitter user base waning, but now there's, like, people from, like, the internet hate machine who enjoy my work now? I don't know, it's very weird. What other retrospective I have? I guess less about my work, of how I feel about the community, is like, I don't know, I don't think my views have changed on the community. I am a little bit more happy that I'm starting to see a few more hypnosis cults and predators are coming out of the woodwork and people are trying to take them down, but unfortunately, it's not the hypnosis community who's doing that, it's furries. Yeah, the furry community has more standards than the hypnosis community, and it seems that the hypnosis community overlaps with furries. So, it seems that the only way you'll actually be taken down is if you happen to, cater to furries, so, any creeps and weirdos watching this, you better lay off the furries or they'll rip you to shreds. It is kind of funny that maybe, hopefully in the future, we'll start seeing all the bullshit within this community be, ripped out from it. That's what I'm hoping. I haven't really seen a change in the community outside of that. It's really just the same thing, full of, thirsty people. I have noticed within these 4 years, hypnosis has become more mainstream, but I feel like it's still stigmatized, and I feel like the hypnosis community contributes to it, because I'm just gonna say it right now. The hypnosis community is obsessed with all the stigmatize ideals of what hypnosis is, so it's like you're not contributing to anything no matter how much you say you're destigmatizing it. Which I always find hilarious. That's my 4-year retrospective. Having a community with myself and people to talk to instead of having to constantly focus on the larger community itself. It's far more rewarding experience. Finally cutting off people I don't like is better than just pretending to fake troll them, because that was my solution in the past, is if people were being creepy on me, I'd just troll them. But at some point when you get so many of them, you eventually snap and you can't take it anymore. So blocking them and cutting them off, banning them, whatever it takes, is a far better solution nowadays. Not having to interact with people who have no boundaries or consent. And that's basically all I have to say about the community right now. In the 4 years, it's been a wild ride. I've been doing a lot of comics and stuff, and I've been having fun. And I hope in the next 4 years more will happen, and maybe I'll have more visual novels and stuff. That's my retrospective. I haven't done these in a while, but I'm pretty content where I am. And maybe hopefully we'll see bigger change in the future with the hypnosis community.